Dissolution. I like the shot in the opening with the feet walking and the dress kind of flowing over the feet in the dirt on the feet. This did feel like an experiment in the different sort of angles and up close shots. I like the music and the sound. I thought they went perfectly with this film, and I do like the black and white. I thought this was just very interesting, and the shots with the cigarettes and putting the cigarette out in the ashtray and being underneath the ashtray for that shot was really cool. I felt like I just wanted a story here, but I think once I let go of that, I just focused on the different, shots and the close-ups and just found it really interesting and intriguing and really cool to watch. So I thought this was a really neat, creative film, and great job.
All right, I just finished watching Dissolution, which I really enjoyed this piece. I thought it had a strong visual conceit matched with the music and the editing. I thought it created a very sort of arresting feeling, a very sort of sinister energy that I thought maintained well with what you were seeing on screen. I thought it was a very interesting approach with light and darkness in this piece that ended up working for me. And I thought that it had a really great sense of rhythm that was reflecting an idea of things not just dissolving but time passing by, which sort of made you think about life and death, very existential ideas about the nature and the cycle of life and death. And I thought that the piece was trying to reflect transformation or transition in those ideas with the images you were seeing, the cigarette or with the water. I think there was just an idea of moving from one form into another form, or dissolving, was very well repeated within the visual constructs that created a strong theme, and I thought it created a good form for the concept that doesn't have like a traditional narrative form. I thought it worked well by maintaining that with sort of images, editing and timing and pacing, and it ended up working in that sense. So I thought it was quite striking, very creepy, obviously, and it just a piece that was hard to forget because of how strong the images on screen were and the kind of mood that was generated over the runtime. So I thought it was well done in that aspect.
I just got done watching Dissolution. There were so many things that I really liked about this. The way it started with the footsteps and the ticking of the clock. I thought that was really, really clever and really well done. I loved what they did with the symmetry of their bodies. That was just gorgeous, and especially in black and white too. They nailed the black and white. Did you hear that? You nailed the black and white. It had these beautiful, rich tones to it where the grays were coming through, and I loved that. I thought that this was interesting. I wasn't really sure what was going on when we got to, there was a shape in the water where it looked like it was leaking liquid. I did not know what that was, and I felt like it pulled me out of it because I was too busy trying to figure out what that shape was. But I think that there were some really powerful images in here, and I loved the creativity about it.
Dissolution. So this film explored the different meanings of dissolution. Things that melt with liquid, like the tea leaves in the spoon. That was beautifully filmed. The hands working with wet soil as it falls through the fingers. The feet in the sand where they're on the beach and the water's coming up through the feet and then drawn away. It was almost hypnotic, and the clock ticking in the background. Things that end. Time ends. The dead bird has come to the end. I just thought it was a really interesting take on things in the world and how to describe that word and define it for us in pictures.
This film creates this eerie, chilling atmosphere really well and keeps you in it for longer than might be comfortable for pretty well the duration of the film, which I thought was great. It uses this atmosphere and just creates these just these jarring moments that you kind of have you like leaning in, but also like jumping back a little bit too at the same time, which I thought was just fantastic. The way they were able to kind of play both sides that way. Just really a fascinating piece worth watching. I really enjoyed it.
Dissolution. when I think of the word, it's the dissipation of something. And we spent a portion of this piece in what felt like submerged in liquid. I noticed the ticking clock in light with the bare feet walking forward. And then we emerge at this dead bird. And so I'm like, okay, is this a symbol of the dissolution of life or of the circle of life? Because at some points we hear the audio of babies crying, and then we see death, and then we hear this audio right after. And then it becomes really clear when we see the images of blood being poured over. To me, that symbolizes demise, death, destruction, pain, the dissolution of life inevitably. So it does bring it full circle around with the visuals in this. They all kind of appear in their own way and stand on their own, but they all relate to one another in some way, shape, or form to give that bigger meaning and message.